After that faceplate failure of the last video, I thought I'd try making a screw chuck. I've seen people use them, and it looks like a handy item to have for a wood lathe. So here are the ingredients: a bit of 75mm steel of unknown properties, and a big ass wood screw. Alright, let's get to work, see if I can get this thing finished today. Damn. Nasty stuff. About 6 centimeter. Yeah, that should do it. I really should clean this up. Big mess. I don't like this rust on my pristine Chinese precision machine, so I'm gonna clean up most of it. Anyway, you get the idea. This is the only way I can hold it, and the jaws are a bit in the way when I want to cut this down to make a stem. 4 centimeters will also be enough. I need to bring it down to about 20 mil, just like that shock absorber I use for the faceplate. It looks like I'm not going to be able to use the live center. The quill is not long enough to reach the work, and I can't move the carriage much more to the left, because at some point the jaws of the chuck are gonna hit the carriage. Yep, one of the shortcomings of a small Chinese lathe. Not as bad as I expected it to be. Spaghetti! You want some sauce with this? What a mess. Well, that turned out pretty okay. It even has a decent finish. It's still pretty hot, so I'll leave it to cool for a while. Then I'll put in the other jaws and face off the other side and drill a hole in it. I'm done machining on the lathe. This here is a 6.8mm hole, and it's a blind hole. And now I'm gonna put a M8 thread in there. I'm bottoming out there. Second stage. So now I gotta modify this to cut off the head and put some thread on here. Because the hole is blind, I'm gonna put a little taper on here, and I'll do that on a grinder, because I don't think the thread goes all the way to the bottom of the hole. I got the remains of the screw clamped between two pieces of aluminium, hoping that it will save the thread and clamp it down tight enough to do some threading. Well, this is not gonna work. I knew this was a bit too thin, but it's way too thin. So I gotta find something else. I found a bigger screw. It's a bit shorter than I would have liked, but it's 7.9 millimeter thick, so threading should be okay. Voila! That looks pretty good. I think I'll taper this a bit more on the grinder. Aluminium safe to thread, so looks good. I'm using my vice grip and the same aluminium pieces to thread it in. And I'm wondering if I should use any Loctite for security. It's bottomed out. Alright, I got my doubts about this material. It looks cast and it might not be all that strong. Well, I think it's a good idea to sacrifice another screw to find out how tough these things are. Well, that thing held on longer than expected, so I think I'm okay. And there it is, all finished. I did put a little Loctite in there. I don't think it's necessary, but it's for my peace of mind. At least with this thing I don't have to worry about the weld breaking like it did on that faceplate. And talking about that faceplate, here it is. I did fix it. But before I did the rewelding, I countersunk the plate. This way there is a nice big chamfer on there. And if the weld would break loose from the plate, it would still be on the shaft. And there would be no way this thing could ever come loose. It would just spin on the shaft. I really should have done it that way the first time around. Okay. Let's test this thing out. See if I can swoop a bowl blank on there in one nice sweep. To the lathe! It's not running 100% through. It's wobbling quite badly. The chuck here is also severely bell mouthed, so that doesn't help. I think I can whack it in line. Junk. I'll leave it like this, I don't think it matters. So far I forgot to mention that I made a little ridge on the outside of the chuck, and that's to improve the contact with the wood, which isn't always flat and parallel with the chuck. Saw it on a picture on the internet, thought it would be a good idea. Yeah, well, about there. Of course, the battery dies. I'm gonna get a bigger drill bit. So now comes the exciting part. See if I can swoop this on there in one go. Does it fit? pretty tight. Let me get a bigger drill bit. So I've been looking forward to this all afternoon. I've seen people do it on the internet and it looked so cool and smooth, and I was wondering if I could do the same without killing myself. Oh! Haha! Look at that! Nice! So I can't leave you without doing some actual testing. And of course this is oak. About 400 RPM. Yeah. Well, that's enough of that. There is a bit of space between the chuck and the ball blank. Maybe I could make that ridge on the outer edge a bit sharper so that it'll bite into the wood. Feels pretty solid. So that's it for me. I'm now going to watch the election debate. See if I can find out what Muppet or which Muppet to vote for. Ow! Damn it. Huh. Not the most elegant way.